copacetic injury situation. Everything the same.
Same.
The way Milwaukee has played this year, and just the runaway season they've had, when you look from a coaching and scouting standpoint, are there specifics that they're just doing far better than anyone else in the league, or at least the East?
I mean, they play as well and as consistently as you can play on both ends of the ball. And that's why they have a great record. They have an MVP. They have a bunch of players around them that have a lot of talent. They can attack you in transition, in the paint, from three. And the majority of them were with them last year on that run and went through some collective pain in the playoffs. That's usually a pretty good motivator.
Do you feel like Bud is kind of the forgotten weapon that they have, kind of the overlooked weapon that they have?
Not a chance. I mean, maybe out there in the public. Yeah, I mean, he's a...
not from you guys, but...
Right. I mean, I have as much deep respect for Mike as anyone in this game. And I've known him. We're both, video guys at the same time. But he's a tremendous basketball coach. It's not a coincidence that, Atlanta had the success when he was there, and then Milwaukee is doing this right now.
Spo, at this point of the season where every game means so much, is there even a thing for players when they know that the best team in the league is in town? And is there a certain extra something special about that matchup, that kind of...
I haven't talked about it specifically with our guys, but I've always said that you want your team to embrace, competition and be aware, when a really good team is coming into town, and if you're a real competitor, you want to step up to that challenge. We have to do it collectively. It's not as if anybody's going to be able to just win this thing on their own. You have to play well.
Coach, having Jimmy back recently, he's been able to really showcase his leadership. How much does a guy like that mean to have in your locker room?
Yeah, I mean, it matters for us, for sure. Just even the execution down the stretch, the other night, actually the last couple nights, the ball is in his hands. It doesn't mean he's going to, it's not always going to go your way, but we just look a lot more coherent. Everybody else is more confident. Guys kind of fill into their natural roles. And he's a giving player, so, I think, our offense can still have great balance, because he's willing to share.
Erik, as a follow-up to Will's question, you yourself, do you stay even for every game, or do you get a little more jacked up for these games?
No, I think it's different, from a coaching standpoint. I don't think you can get caught up in all the highs and lows, and if you really become overly emotional one way or another, I don't think you're your best version, for the team. But, I have different responsibilities. I have to think about a locker room, and I have to be clear in the head and doing my best, for them. Maintaining some kind of mental stability, I think, is key for this seat.
Spo Duncan seems to get most of his looks in his most accurate first, third quarters. There's some more you want in that space, or is that by design in some ways?
No, keep on doing it. I mean, it's that simple. Our offense is becoming a lot more sophisticated because of many of the actions that he generates for our team. You have to scout those actions now. I'm sure every walkthrough and shoot around, film session, when you're preparing for us, Duncan Robinson is up there near the top of your prep, and that's a great credit to him. It's helped our offense, and if teams really start to lock in the fourth quarter, that means other things are open.
Also, are there some things that Tyler and Myers can do right now that at least gives you?
Yeah, they're doing more, but as far as an update, I don't have a new one, for everybody.
Erik, after those games where your team had big leads in the fourth quarter, then they got away, you said maybe this is something that we need to go through. How do you feel about how your team has responded and learned how to play better in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, Jim, I mean, it's something that we do have to go through. And that doesn't guarantee that we have it figured out. You never do. You just continue to work on things. That's the thing I love about this group is we own it. We work on it, and we're not afraid to go out there and and put it out there to test. And you can be open to criticism when it's not going your way. But this league is hard, and 20-point leads. I don't look at those as blown leads. You have to play a complete game. So you have to figure out a way to manage all the different ups and downs and runs and skirmishes that happen during the course of a game. A 20-point game now is much different than it was when Ronnie was sitting up here. That was probably equivalent to a 10-point game. And then it's much different than when I first started 12 years ago. It was probably, like a 15, point game or 12-point game. Things move much quicker because of the volume of pace and threes. And it's not like every team has this figured out how to hold leads or get leads. The whole league is trying to figure that out, except for Milwaukee. They've had they've had some leads and they've taken it from 20 to 40. Everybody else is pretty much in a group where you're just trying to figure out how to get a win at the end.
Last question, Erik. Anything about Yanis' game that stands out to you, or as you look at prepare for him, you say, okay, here's something?
It's the same thing we've said year after year. He continues to evolve and grow as a great player. He's arguably having a better year this year than his MVP year. He must be, an impactful leader behind the scenes. I don't know him. I don't know anything about what goes on in their building. But the fact that they've been able to come back with this kind of edge and urgency to their team and have it so for so long this season is impressive. And your leaders have to be right on and echoing the same message as your coach is. And they've had an impressive season so far. Okay.
Hey, Erik, you've spoken over here, many times about the immense respect you have for Yanis and everything that he's been able to do. I'm curious this year, one of the things he's been trying to do is add more to his post game, more sophistication to his game. Are you seeing that come across in film?
Yeah, and I think they're going into the post a little bit more than they did last year, because defenses evolve, and as good as they were last year offensively. You do have to add variety just as teams start and competition starts to prepare for you more. And they probably went through that process in the playoffs. I have no idea. I'm sure they did. Mike is, like I said, terrific. And I think that's been intentional from the very first day to add a little bit more to their menu. Thank you.